What is up?
Look who's here with us, the great Will Darkins.
Hello.
It's been a while since I've seen you in person, my friend.
Yes. How have your golf extravaganzas been?
Did get to play during pilot season. We had a week-long tournament before Thanksgiving in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, did you get to play it?
So we did. We packed the clubs. We got 3 rounds in different courses. Just a different. I had never played in that part of the country. It is golf crazy out there.
I bet.
And so just very, very different. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Very affordable.
Oh.
Reasonably speaking, within the world of golf, but we played 3 great courses, a lot of water.
You lose a lot of balls?
I lost a fair amount of balls, yeah. Yep,
Right?
did that, but greens feast, thank you. Yeah. Greens, couldn't figure out, the greens are totally different. Somebody that's, if you've grown up in the Pacific Northwest, you're used to playing on Poa greens. And playing on bent, playing on whatever else they got out there, they were sticky, and I couldn't ever adjust to the speed of the greens. And then you're only there for a weekend. You're doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But wow, it's about $60 a round with a golf cart. Everybody takes golf carts because stuff is so spread out between holes, and there's a lot of water and bridges, and very few people packing it. Footing it up and down. But
what about Vegas? You were in Vegas. What's up with Vegas? Didn't you play any courses in Vegas?
No, I didn't play just because I didn't know. In a tournament, in that situation, you didn't know if you had a game the next day or not. So I couldn't ever plan for, a full day excursion to get out because we were dealing with the men and the women. And so you got to book a tee time well ahead of time and that sort of stuff. And usually the courses are you got to drive then away from the strip and all that sort of stuff. So at some point, we will figure that out. Played PGA West back in October. Buddy of ours who has a place down at right on the 14th fairway of La Quinta Country Club. We will be heading back there in October as well. They were overseeding. They were reseeding La Quinta, getting it ready for the Amex there in January. So it wasn't playable, but we went over and played PG West, and that was amazing.
Have you gotten better at golf?
No.
Why?
Because I don't have Harold anymore, quite frankly.
I know.
The motivation to get out and practice, motivation to help, dissect the little intricacies that get you from being an okay golfer to go out there and, you have enough skill to hit good golf shots, but just being consistent and not. And for me, it's the short game. Quite frankly, if I could putt better, I would lose 5-6 strokes a round.
Is it possible we need to get you on the Rory regiment and just get you jacked up?
Sure, if somebody, but what's his budget for
you on some
trainers and supplements and what are some ancient greens? Do I need ancient greens?
I don't think you need ancient greens for what he's doing.
Because we all know, as I'm told every day around here, I'm getting more ancient by the day. So yeah.
Well, look at Tiger is beside the
who just had
crippling
another
injury.
surgery.
He looks good.
Yeah, of course he looks good.
That's the weird part about watching him on the course is that he does, for his age, looks good. He looks like he's in good shape. But
I think he's in great shape. It's just the mechanics are all busted from everything he's done to it over 25, 30 years.
It's gone bad.
Gripping and ripping it. So anyway, we are back for a full season. We will be with you through at least Labor Day weekend. We'll see when the Ducks first football kickoff times get announced. If they're afternoon evenings, we might be able to extend the first couple of weekends into September. Want to thank Dominic Marconi, the executive director for the Oregon chapter of the PGA of America, who once again, behind the scenes, is such a tremendous help to keeping the show going. I am going to fly solo again, but we are going to be visiting with so many of the great PGA golf professionals at so many of the courses here in the Pacific Northwest. We've got a great one today, 8:30, Business of Golf. Carrie Degree is the lead golf professional now out at Royal Oaks. She's been at Columbia Edgewater. She has been at the Eugene Country Club, grew up in Bend, and in 2024 is now the first female to serve as president of the local chapter, Oregon chapter of the Pacific or of the PGA of America. We are very, very excited to talk to her out at Harold's old stomping grounds. And so she's coming up at 8:30. At 8:15 today, I could not be more excited to talk to David Jacobson. Everybody that plays golf in Oregon, in the Portland area, knows David. This game, the youth game, the Jacobson Youth Initiative, the EJ Youth Tour, all of those things coming with his tremendous will. And he recently received, a couple of months ago, he was given the honor. He was out of Pinehurst in North Carolina. They made the official presentation, but the USGA, a national award for meritorious service as a volunteer, the Joe Dye Award. He was extremely humble. There's a video out there, some links to it. I think we'll put a link out on our Twitter feed at 1080 The Fan for you if you haven't seen it yet. But he has done so much for the game, continues to do so much for the game. So opportunity to catch up with him and kind of check into the volunteerism, the youth, keeping youth into the game, introducing them into the game, the most important things for us as mentors and adults and those that have loved the game to make sure we instill in the next generation of players to keep the game moving forward in the manner that we hope that it does. So he's going to join us at 8:15 for us to congratulate him, but more him to thank a lot of the people that have helped him over the years, running USGA tournaments, all of the stuff with youth, and ways to get involved and continue as this game evolves at a rapid pace. But as always, we start, my friend, by going inside the ropes.
It's time for an insider's look at the leaderboards, the latest on all tours, plus local golf events and golf news. This is Inside the Ropes, part of Golf in the Northwest.
Just a couple of tours in action. We're kind of, last week was the Players. We'll talk about Rory probably at the end of the show. We'll look ahead to the Masters a little bit, starting to take form just a couple of weeks away. The field is mostly set. There's a few chances for people to get in. But the PGA Tour, after the Players' Championship last week, a non-signature event. They are still in Florida at the Copperhead course at Innisbrook Resort in Palm Harbor for the Valspar Championship. And another young name, and we continue to see these rising up. Jacob Bridgman will start the day with a one-shot lead at 6 under par. He was a graduate of the Korn Ferry Tour in 2023. In 2024, finished inside the top 125 on the FedEx Cup standings. So he had 5 top 15 finishes, but looking for his first PGA Tour victory. He finished second at the Cognizant Classic just a few weeks ago. So another one of those young up-and-comers that is going to continue to pick off victories in this just the breed that's coming up. Victor Hovland there leading a group tied at 5 under par with Byung-Hun On. Shane Lowry is 2 back at 4 under par along with Xander Schauffele. So you do have some names here in the field today. Will Zalatoris continuing to come back from his back surgery, 2 under. Corey Connors, Keith Mitchell all at 2 under par as well. So it should be a fun day. Golf Channel will take over the coverage at 10 a.m. And then today's tournament will be on NBC. They will pick it up later this afternoon around noon for weekend coverage. NBC will have this one. So ESPN Plus with the early round, the main feed. We got that going here. Jordan Spieth out there still trying to find his game as he's coming back from wrist surgery. Justin Thomas continues to be up and down. He had that amazing round at the Players, tied the course record with a 10 under 62, but couldn't close it out and finish it as Rory. We'll talk about Rory, too, a little bit later. I think he's poised to maybe have a special year. Scotty Scheffler is still coming back. He's not in this one, but certainly the hand injury that he suffered to start the season, cutting himself with on a glass, We shall see how that affects him. They are getting ready to have another child as well. So as guys develop, get more comfortable with their games, we wonder. There's always the theories that once guys get married and start having kids, their games go to crap.
Well, it should motivate them. What about old Scotty there?
Scotty,
but he was like right at the...
He was at the pinnacle. Everything was going on
precipice,
at once.
right?
Yeah.
She was pregnant, and she was about to, and then he won the Masters, and now it's happening. Yeah.
So we'll see. He will have a very difficult season to match with all the wins. I think there's only one player this year that I think could win multiple majors. We'll discuss that at the end of the show. The other two are going on is the Champions PGA Tour, the Hogue Classic at Newport Beach Country Club down there in Newport Beach, California. A rookie. He just joined the tour earlier this month, turning 50 at the start of the month of March. Brendan Jones out of Australia, 7 under 64 to take the first shot lead, looking for his first win in just his third start. He finished 60th at the Cologuard Classic a couple of weeks ago. Another tour rookie, Freddie Jacobson, with a 6 under 65. He's tied for second, earned his status. He finished second at Q School back in December, and so looking for his first win. And then also tied for second, you have 66-year-old Michael Allen, who went under his age, a 6 under 65. He's there. Ernie Els, a two-time winner. Not that far back at 5 under with Alex Checa, Stephen Allen, Freddie Couples playing in the field. Padraig Harrington is there as well. And Golf Channel will pick up coverage 2 o'clock this afternoon. The LPGA is coming back from one of their Asian swings. They've only played 5 tournaments this year. Nobody has doubled up. Nelly Korda has yet to win. Yilimi No, Angel Yin, Americans who got victories over... Well, one was here. Yilimi No won in Florida before they left. And then Angel Yin won in Thailand. Lydia Ko winning over there in Singapore, as this is likely her final year as a full-time LPGA professional. And that is an ongoing storyline with some of the top players. Lexi Thompson has stepped aside. Lydia Ko has talked about it. Some of their top players who are looking to move on to the next facets of their lives. You remember these players came in as mere kids, teenagers, 14, 15, 16. They've won so much. Lydia earning Hall of Fame status last year with some victories. And so who will be the next generation to come? Angela Stanford was just named the Solheim Cup captain for the U.S. squad for the 2026 Solheim matches. I think that's important. We can get to that later in the day as well. Korn Ferry Tour, they had their South American stint to open things up. We were keeping an eye on Alistair Doherty, who's been a guest of ours, who we've watched his career blossom over the last couple of years. He was just shy of earning his PGA Tour card on a couple of occasions. Finished 32nd in points on the Korn Ferry Tour. He was 1 stroke shy of earning his PGA Tour card through Q School, but he is exempt this year on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's got a top 10 and a couple other top 20s. He is in position right now, 20th in the points list. He is going to win a Korn Ferry Tour event this year. Mark my words, take it to the bank. If you can find a way to wager on it, he's going to win this year. We'll catch up with him.
Timestamp this episode.
That's right. Alistair Doherty is going to win a Korn Ferry Tour event this year, and I expect him to be right there ready to earn his PGA Tour card. So much behind him, so much support. He has figured out, and he's got enough scars now that he knows what to do when he's in position, and he'll be able to get it done. So that's what's going on around the tours. When we come back, just a thrill to talk to David Jacobson. He received the Joe Dye Award from the USGA for meritorious service as in volunteerism. He's done so much, so many initiatives for youth golf, for USGA championships here. We'll talk to him about his career, what made him stay an amateur all these years. Obviously, his brother has had a noted professional career, and how much they still are instilled. and motivated by the lessons their dad taught them when they introduced them to the game. That coming up here. Glad to be back with you this season. It's Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan. Meritorious service to the game as a volunteer. David, congratulations on that, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. What was it like going back to Pinehurst and actually receiving the award?
Jason, good morning. Thanks for having me. It was I was very surprised when I was notified that I would be recognized this year. Going to Pinehurst was quite an experience. I had been there last year for the U.S. Open as a volunteer, and then going back to this year and seeing the facility without all of the setup for the Open was quite amazing. Words, I'm at a loss for words. I'm still incredibly grateful for the recognition. Pinehurst is an amazing facility, sort of a Bandon Dunes only on the East Coast. USGA has established their Hall of Fame there. They have a museum there, or I should say the golf industry has a Hall of Fame there. The USGA has their museum. They've got some testing facilities there. It's another facility to benefit the game. But being there and being honored was an incredible experience. I'm very humbled.
Well, and obviously your lineage in the game, being taught from your father and you and your brother Peter from an early age, I'm wondering what struck you at a young age about the game itself that just got inside of you and never left?
I just became fascinated with the game, with the culture of the game, the people in the game. I was fortunate to work on a golf course that hosted the USGA's men's amateur in 1970. So I got sort of a back-end view of how a USGA championship operates, listened very loudly to all the details that were involved. And I was a player anyway, just was fascinated with competition, understanding the game, the people in the game. So just a combination of wanting to be a good player, a great player actually, and then I still keep trying to play, as we all do in golf. We all think we can get better. But that said, I have had so much fun meeting so many people that I wanted to make sure we pass that magic that I call on to others so that they could enjoy the game in the same manner I have, and maybe not in the same manner, but at least in a similar vein, whether it's young people, adults, championship events, competitions. There's just so many things that this game offers that I was associated with early on. Just want to make sure that we continue and pass that on to the next generation.
Well, and in that regard, I think it's interesting that you remained an amateur all that time, as well as working with the USGA, as opposed to maybe becoming trying to be a PGA professional and coming at it from the professional standpoints. Why was it important to you to remain an amateur and work on the USGA side?
Well, Jason, truth be known, Peter and I both turned pro at the same time. Back in the day, you just announced you played as a professional, and I tried for 2 years to play as a professional golfer, but realized early that I wasn't good enough. So in order to stay in the game, part of my commitment to the game was just, okay, I can't play as a professional where I can earn a living. So how do I stay involved in the game, and how do I contribute to the game that has meant so much to me? And clearly Peter has had a great career, and I'm very, very proud of him. But at the same time, I've been able to experience a completely different side of the game as a volunteer and staying an amateur. And back in the day, you turned pro. It took me a couple of years to earn my amateur status back, but I've played amateur golf since, 1982, 81, so a long time.
Well, and you talk about, I know out at Waverly, you've been involved in helping bring USGA championships there. I know Sunriver is going to host a bunch. Bandon continues to host. We get them in the Portland area as well. And just, I don't think people realize how much the game relies on volunteers overall, and really the opportunity for you to think, some of the people that have been key in getting all of that organized. Just how much do the volunteers mean to being able to host these events?
Well, Jason, thank you for bringing up that topic. I was recognized with that volunteer award, but one does not do this alone. You mentioned the USGA championships that will be here in Oregon in 2026. Portland Golf Club is going to have a championship as well, a USGA championship. So our golf culture here in the Northwest is outstanding. The volunteers that we have in this community are equal to that. We have our tournament advisory group with the Oregon Golf Association. Every club like Waverly, Portland, Bandon, Sunriver will have a cadre of volunteers that will make the championship work. And part of the beauty of the game of golf is that through volunteering, even though you may not play, you can contribute to the game, and you can gain so much from the experience of being associated with the great players, being associated with the clubs, with the organizations that present these championships, and it opens up other opportunities as well. So again, the recognition comes with a great deal of gratitude for the Oregon Golf Association, the volunteers at Waverly, the Oregon Golf Association's tournament advisory group. So all I did was point in one direction and said, let's do this. And again, I can't take all the credit, but I'm grateful that I would be recognized for all of my involvement.
Chatting here with David Jacobson, the 2025 Joe Dye Award winner from the USGA. And speaking of the volunteerism and supporting, the other thing that you and your family has established is the Jacobson Youth Initiative in partnership with the OGA. You've got the Erling Jacobson Junior Tour named after your father, the Youth on Course initiative. Just how important was it for your family to give back in that regard and to make sure that junior golfers had access not only to the game, but the proper support and tutelage and instruction to enjoy it the way you have over the years?
Well, once again, thanks for a great question. It sounds like we previewed this, and we didn't. This was just off the top of your head conversation. Growing up, our family, my dad was. It was important for us to not only be a good player. That was a worthy endeavor, hitting a square shot, but he was very adamant about respect for the course, respect for your fellow players, and then respect for the rules of the game. All three of those things can apply to adults, or respect all the way around for each other. So when Dad passed away, we decided we wanted to create an opportunity for young people to learn through the game of golf, all of the respect for the course, respect for fellow players, respect in the game. And Dad really didn't like competition. So we have events during the summertime for young people who want to get introduced to the game. 9 holes of golf. We start on the first tee with a lesson in etiquette. Believe it or not, the first thing is shaking hands with your fellow competitors. There's no competition. And at the end, we have some minor awards and some recognition. The whole objective is to make sure that the kids that come out and try to play the game have fun. Bottom line is just have fun, meet other kids. The second part of our program is what's called Youth on Course, which actually started in Northern California. We were the first golf association outside of California to adopt this plan, and now they're in 50 states, Canada, Australia, and this program provides young people the opportunity to register with the Oregon Golf Association, become a member of Youth on Course, and they can play one of 70 courses in Oregon, and I think there's nearly 3,000 around the country. The young people under age 18 can play these courses for $5. Through the fund we've established for both Erling Jacobson Tour and Youth on Course, we reimburse the golf course that is having these young people play for $5. We reimburse the golf course another $5. Now, typically the golf course does not prime times for greens fees, but it's on off hours where young people can play. And as I said earlier, if you provide enough opportunity for young people to play golf, they will find that magic, and along the way, they will learn the lessons that we all want to see in adults, and that's respect for the rules, respect for the facility, and then ultimately respect for your fellow players.
And certainly all the things that we want to see continue on in the game. You're never just idle, so is there something else you would like to do next? What's next on your list?
Well, I'd like to make sure we continue to grow our Erling Jacobson Tour, Youth on Course. We continue to work on, I think last year we reimbursed nearly $100,000 to golf courses, so we're always trying to raise money to support the kids and playing. We're trying to organize, get all of the junior golf programs together, which we did pre-COVID, where we brought everyone together in a room, and instead of each one having their own separate programs, we learned about each other's programs, whether it was a golf camp or whether it was the Oregon Junior Golf Program, Youth on Course, Erling Jacobson Tour. There are so many wonderful programs to benefit young people, high school golf, that we all got in the same room. We talked about how we could help each other, and we found that this young person could do better in this other program. So we've got the Oregon Youth Golf Summit coming up later on this year, probably in the fall, and just, again, executing what we have already on our schedule. There's always kids that want to play golf, and we're ready to help any way we can. Well,
for people that want to, if you want to donate to the youth initiative, you can go. There's a link at the OGA website there for people that want to find out other ways to help support or volunteer for events coming up. What's the best way to get involved and get information?
The best way is, as you just said, is through the Oregon Golf Association website, oga.org. And there are links in there where one can get information about volunteering, or just call the office at 503-981-4653. We're very fortunate to have some great people down there. Well, the woman that's running Oregon Junior Golf is Monica Vaughn, a name that may be familiar to many.
Yep.
Just an outstanding player, but now is running the Oregon Junior Golf program. And then Rick Rangel, the executive director of the Oregon Golf Association. They can be reached through the website, or they can be reached through that number, 503-981-4653, and can provide any information somebody might look for. Always looking for volunteers to help us with our EGA tour, the tournament advisory group. It's a great way to get involved in the game.
It is. Well, congratulations to you on the award. Mostly thank you and everybody for all that you've done to promote the game for the youth. And hopefully we've helped inspire a few more people to help join the ranks and provide more support moving forward.
Jason, thank you so much. Good luck. It's nice to be on your first show of the season. There's a little bit of sun peeking out. I'm ready for some springtime weather and some golf. I always know in the Northwest, when the Masters comes around, that's when the season seems to start. So we're a couple weeks away. Let's hope for good weather in the next few weeks and throughout the summer. But thanks again for having me.
You bet. Thank you, David Jacobson, and play well. There you go, David Jacobson. What an honor. He's such a humble guy. You will see him at the U.S. Open. He's one of the starters, I believe the 10-tee starter, and then he's the first tee starter for the U.S. Senior Open. There's links to the videos. There's one of him introducing his brother Peter at one of the U.S. Senior Opens, and pretty cool stuff. So, again, just type in Jacobson Youth Initiative. It'll take you to all the links, and you can find out ways to get involved there. When we come back, we go to the business of golf. The Oregon chapter of the PGA of America has a new president for the first time, a female, Carrie Degree, who is the lead golf professional out at Royal Oaks up there in Vancouver, joins us next. We make the turn. It's Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
passion for it to keep on going. I always wanted to get better, so whatever I did, if it was music, golf, skiing, it just drove me to keep on succeeding.
What was it? And obviously, you have found that career path through the PGA and all of their educational programs. There's 4 different classifications of the PGA professional development that you are now certified in, one of the few in the country. What was it about that mentorship, even when you were playing golf at Gonzaga and possibly considering, playing, trying to play professionally? What was it about coming back and serving the game as a golf professional that always struck you?
I loved everything, how a team had to work together. I loved golf operations, and I was very fortunate to work with some great mentors, one being Bill Morak down at Eugene Country Club, where I actually met him in 2011 at the first networking and mentoring conference, where his big push was on the certified program to always add something to your resume going forward. And I had the opportunity to work with him in 2016. And like I said, he always strived that you always added something to your resume. And so when we were going through the clubhouse renovation down at Eugene Country Club after hosting the NCAAs, there was no better time than the present to get the certified programs down. So I did all 4 certifications in about 4 months.
Wow.
And at the time, I was one of 23 assistants in the nation that had all 4.
Now, for those that aren't familiar with it, what are the 4 different classifications of the certifications?
So there's a teaching and coaching certification, a player development, general management, and golf operations. And
obviously, you're poised now to eventually, run a club or those. You keep working your way. You mentioned Eugene. You started out in Spokane there, went to Columbia Edgewater. You saw the LPGA operations come through there for a number of years, and now over at Royal Oaks. What have you taken from each of your different stops in understanding what members want, what players want, and how to kind of meld them together as this game continues to evolve?
Ultimately, it's how the team works together to put on, your daily activities. Like today, we have 185 people on the tee sheet. So it's 85 different personalities, making sure they enjoy every aspect of the game. You're also working with your staff to make sure your top-notch service is up. So I really have just enjoyed how working with a team, being a part of the members' lives, and continuing to grow from, all the mentors that I've had and the learning different leadership styles to get that top-notch service and product out to your members.
And what kind of skills now is the PGA, membership? We saw the boost in play participation during COVID. And now we're starting to see as maybe people that hadn't thought about joining a club before, whether it's a public course, a private course, a different generation, a different approach to the game than maybe had been there traditionally. What sort of skills now are being needed by those that want to get into the industry that's maybe shifting the focus from what it used to be, when our parents were considering a career in golf?
I look at it as right now definitely the industry has changed. For me personally, is how to make it fun for everyone who walks in the door. If it's that 5-year-old learning how to play golf, or, the mom that's decided to come out and learn how to play golf, or, a 70-year-old guy that's been playing his entire life but wants to find more, enjoyment into it. It's all about the fun factor to me, is how to, tap into their learning styles, make it enjoyable that they want to keep on coming and seeing us or going to a different golf course. It's also about the community and the friendships that are made. And that's, probably number one for me is just the friendship and the community that golf can give you.
Chatting here with Carrie Degree, lead golf professional out at Royal Oaks and the president of the local chapter here for the Oregon chapter of the PGA of America. How are new golfers to the game defining fun that's different from just the traditional, let's go play 18 holes and spend an afternoon out at the course?
We, put a huge emphasis on, we have our hit and giggles in the summer months where it's a 9-hole scramble that you get to play with 3 other couples, and then we pair it with a nice buffet. There's costumes, the fun games, whatever, might be a poker hand to take off a stroke on a par 3. But it's just, making that if you top a shot or you didn't hit it perfect, that it's okay. Let's go on to the next one. But, with the professionals here, we get dressed up, we play music, we get involved with them just to show them that golf's fun. It can be, still very competitive, which we all are.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Royal Oaks Invitational, that's quite the event for people in the local area to go out there with the course playing U.S. Open-like conditions. I've been hinted possibly to do the show out there for one of those one time, so we'll see if that ever happens. As far as the demand, how is it needing for more people to become PGA professionals? What is the demand right now for people to get into the industry in whatever fashion, whether it's the merchandising operations or instruction in golf, more golf-centric things? And how easy is it for people to start to get into the PGA program?
We definitely need more professionals, and we're, finding ways how to, we have a lot of professionals, I would say, that start the program, but they don't get past level 1 for whatever reason. I know Dominic, myself, and Molly Cooper, we're, working on a mentoring conference to try to figure out how we can get these individuals past. There is such a huge need for teachers. The demand, golf has spiked so much that, like I said, we have 185 people on our tee sheet today, and it's Saturday in March.
Yeah.
We've got lessons, we've got programs. We need more teachers. We need more professionals to keep, merchandisers, keep things going. It's a great game. It's a great industry, and we just need more.
No question. Do we have enough courses in the area, do you think? Both public and private? Do we have enough courses, or is there demand for more courses?
No, I think especially the Portland metro area, there's tons of golf courses. There's so many out there. I love to go visit all of them. I don't think we're short on golf courses around here. Maybe somewhere other places, but I know Central Oregon is booming with golf courses. Everywhere I've worked, seems like there's a golf course within a 5-mile radius.
True. How's your game?
Can always be better.
That's a true golfer right there. How much, you have a lot on your plate, but how much do you get out and have a chance to play?
I play a ton in, I would call it the shoulder seasons. I play a lot from now until like June with my members playing in the Pro-Ams. And then, once, aerification in October happens, usually I don't play too much during the summer because I'm usually at the course running PGA Junior League or junior golf or playing with the ladies or running the ladies programs. So I usually play in the worst weather. So I leave the good weather for all the members. Oh,
there you go. That's a true professional right there. For people that are interested in learning about maybe more if the PGA career path is possible for them, how do they find out more information?
A great way, too, is you can always reach out to Dominic Marconi or myself, or you can go to the PGA.org, and there's a great resource kind of lays it out. But the best would be to talk to your, head professional or a golf professional at a different course and just find out, what it takes to become a professional. And, is there, there might be an avenue that you like that you didn't even think about. The new ones, they're popping up or, inside golf ranges, I think it was the Cottage out in Cottage Grove. We've got indoor facilities all over the place. So there's always something for someone out there if you're interested.
Well, we appreciate your time, your service. We look forward to it. Hopefully, we'll get out to Royal Oaks here sometime soon and see how things are going. I know, the rain needs to stop so they can get the greens out there where they like them. I know that. Carrie Degree, congratulations on getting there to the president of the chapter. I know that that's important to a lot of people into the industry, and we wish you well during your term and hope to catch up with you sometime down the road.
Thank you so much.
There you go, Carrie Degree, the lead golf professional out there at Royal Oaks, the 2024 Oregon chapter president for the PGA, and just a tremendous background, just growing up in Bend, growing up around the game, looking forward to how she continues to make it fun. And I think that's the most important thing. If you heard from David and you heard from Carrie, that is what the overriding sentiment as we continue to ride this boom from the pandemic of new players, new participation, different sorts of players coming to the game is a way for it to be fun and not to be as uptight and stodgy as the game seemed, while understanding that there's an etiquette and some traditions that you want to carry forward. So we appreciate Carrie's time and continue to look forward to meeting with a lot of the great PGA professionals here serving our courses throughout the season. When we come back, let's peek ahead a little bit. The Masters is just around the corner as we really dig into a major season for golf. We'll get one a month here starting in April, taking us through the summer. Is anybody poised to have a season like Scotty Scheffler had last year? Could somebody win double up with the majors this year? How do things look? Where are the courses that they're going to play? We'll do that as we wrap things up here coming down the stretch. Golf in the Northwest on 1080 The Fan.
What's right under your floor can impact your whole
So after the Valspar, it'll be two runs through Texas. The Texas Children's Houston Open next week, and then the Valero Texas Open the first week of April in San Antonio. So just a couple of chances for guys to get in the field. You take a look at the betting odds. Scotty Scheffler still the betting favorite at plus 350, but Rory McIlroy, after winning at the Players, plus 650. He's won twice. He won at Pebble Beach. He won at TPC Sawgrass. I think he is ready to finally put all of the Live versus PGA Tour, being there, the head of the advisory board, all of that stuff. I think he's finally just shrugged his shoulders and said, I did everything I tried to do. He got backlash, felt like he was left at the altar a little bit from management, saying one thing and then something else going on that he didn't know about. I think he's ready to just focus on golf, and I think he's got it dialed in. I think Rory McIlroy is going to win multiple majors this year. I think he's ready to conquer Augusta and finally get the career Grand Slam. But also with the Open Championship there in his home country, he's playing Royal Portrush, a huge home course advantage for him, as well as the PGA Championship being at Quail Hollow. I think that course suits his game tremendously. And I think he's had a lot of fun with the TGL that, according to them, has been a big success, whether you watched it or not. But I think the players have had fun and enjoyed it. The facility looks amazing. We'll see if there's packages once they wrap up their season here from the TV event with the pros. I wonder if there'll be opportunities for, if you're looking for the next golf sort of vacation thing to go on, to possibly go down there and play in that environment. I think it'd be amazing. And we'll see if that formula also becomes something that gets replicated in other places. I would think up north is where you would think it would be a huge sort of destination, especially when the weather's crappy in the late fall and winter. I would imagine you could put one of those in the New York area. You could put one in the Chicago area, certainly somewhere up in the Pacific Northwest. I think they would be draws tremendously. Now, what the cost would be, I have no idea. Those things, it was quite a facility. But now, once you know how to build one and how to work the kinks out and the video walls and all of those things, be loads of fun. But yeah, the back to the major schedule. Quail Hollow will host the PGA Championship in May, and the U.S. Open will be at Oakmont. That seems like Scotty Scheffler, if he's going to win one, could be in there as well. Also, you will see a few live golfers. There are now, the majors have come out and provided access. I think the Open Championship has, the Masters has, I think the PGA did. I don't know if the U.S. Open did. But there is a way for the very top one or two, it's just a sprinkle handful of live golfers to qualify for those events who aren't already exempt from previous major championship wins. That thing's going to get solved one way or the other. And I think most of the golfers have moved on from it. I think fans have too. There will be disappointment that they won't see certain names here and there at certain events. But for the most part, I think that thing's just going to get sorted out one way or the other. They're going to exist in some fashion. Eventually, they'll find a way to merge and have a team sort of aspect to things and your traditional PGA Tour events. So look for that. And again, the Valspar, get going. Coverage picking up 10 o'clock on Golf Channel. NBC will pick it up in the afternoon. Take you home today and tomorrow. Thanks again to Kerry Degree, as well as David Jacobson, for joining us here on our inaugural show of the season. We'll be back with you every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock here with Golf in the Northwest. That'll do it for us. Thanks to Will on the board, as always. Sinner and Saint coming up next. Until then, I'm Jason. Hit 'em straight.
You have an idea of how hard it's blowing. Did they find my ball?
Trying to make things a little less
penal.
Look, I'm in the rough quite a bit.
Yeah,
Suck
you are.
moisture out of the greens.
Bogey.
Oh my gosh, it came up Peter Jacobson.
You know how easy I am.
Yeah, I know.
Peaches in Europe.
Oh, right.